Hello, how's it going, Scott? Thanks for joining. Did I tease you with my, if you thought that was open and vulnerable, then wait for my live stream. I know you probably didn't fall for that because you're good on boundaries and you've got no FOMO, right? Only JOMO. I like that. The joy of missing out. I have felt the joy of missing out, particularly on meetings that you didn't want to go to anyway. That's the best JOMO when you get back like 45 minutes of your life. But yeah, it happened just this morning. It's a holiday here in Ontario. It is, come on Jenny, I should know this. Everybody calls it May 2, but it's a civic holiday or a Victoria Day holiday. That sounds right. I'll blame my British heritage for not remembering that. Could you just let me know, Scott, if you can hear me, because I am using my mic mini because I can plug it straight into my computer and I can see better that it's connected. So you should be able to hear me. And I can see like a little audio bar at the top of my live telling me that there's sound coming in. Laurie, how's it going? Could you guys just let me know if you can hear me? Another thing I didn't do, because I'm on Ecamm Live and I'm super nervous, is I think it's streaming in 4K, which would be too high of a quality. Let me see if I can change it and be brave on screen. Any tips, Scott? Output. Recording. It says it's the mic mini hooked up. Manage network, no. Source, no. Scene profile. Gosh darn it. I cannot do it. Yes, I sound good. Thanks, Laurie. We're taking that as a win. I watched so many Ecamm tutorials. I was super confident and I had all kinds of overlays in the background. I hooked up the continuity camera on my phone to have like different angles, and then figured out when I actually came on here that it's not as simple as I thought it would be. So we're just going with it. Hey Daryl, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. It's nice to see friendly faces. Again, I have a plan. Got my nice little live stream planner to keep me on track. And one thing I did learn today when I was listening to Ecamm tutorials is we're not supposed to do this, like talking and just welcoming people in. So I should stop that. So what I'm going to do for the first people who are here, I'm just going to fill you in what happened with my daughter yesterday for those of you who were on Laurie's live stream. I had just got my cup of coffee, I'd got my piece of paper and a pen, and I was ready to listen and chill out and enjoy the nice meal I'd made. And I wondered where my daughter was because she'd been out for several hours at an outlet mall, and I wanted to make sure she was doing okay. She's a fairly new driver. And sure enough, she picked up the phone and she was immediately crying, like barely understandable. And of course, your mom brain goes nuts. I'm like, you lost the car? Has it been broken into? Did you have another car accident? What's happened? And she's screaming, I'm blocked in. And it turns out that she couldn't get parking at the really popular mall that she was at. So she drove down the street that was close by and parked in a parking lot of another business, which had probably 20 pieces of yellow paper dotted around saying, absolutely no more parking. You will be towed. Do not park here. And she didn't see them. So they, at the end of their business day, rightly so, pulled down the metal barriers, put a big padlock on it, and she's locked there now until Tuesday when the place opens again. So that is life lessons for a teenager. And of course, because she's my baby, probably bad parenting, but I went and picked her up from said disaster. Adam, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Hey, Gen X, using my official moniker now with the G. Do you like that? Yes, so that's what happened with my daughter, if you were there on Laurie's live stream. It's going to happen again and again. Parenting woes. So we're going to move straight on. I don't know if I like Ecamm, Laurie and Scott. I know you both use it. It's bothering me. I feel like the way I've got it set up right now, I've got it set up in 4K, so that might be causing some delays. And I also think I've got some kind of delay between what I'm saying and the comments coming through. I know that's a thing. It's a setting somewhere. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Because some of the things Ecamm can do is pretty magical. So I am going to do a Scott special. And I prepared some slides so I could bring up information on the screen. So let's do this, overlays. Oh, that's magical, isn't it? Not as fancy as it could be. I was making these slides today. Let's see if we can do, let me have a look. I gotta make it smaller. Sorry if I'm making you seasick there. Rachel, you're early. Hey, Rachel's here. Simply Resilient Me, that's Rachel. And I loved the video this morning, Rachel. I did comment on that. And if you make it to the end of this live stream, which may be a bit longer, judging by the amount of time it's taken me just to get this program running, you'll hear all about what that meant to me today. Ali G. Using Ecamm today. Didn't splash out. I'm using a 14-day trial. But the plan is to splash out if I can make this video. If I can do this live stream without feeling bad things. Peter's jumped in. Awesome. Laurie's saying, see, that's what makes Ecamm worth it. LOL. Yeah, you buy a headache? Awesome. So, last week's contributors. So, these are the amazing people who have shown up for me basically every week. There have been some in and out, but these people have been pretty constant for me. And I don't want to read out the names all the time. You can all read and see on the screen there. But I just wanted to say thank you because everyone who does live streams knows how important it is to have people on with you. It just makes live streaming a whole new experience. So thank you to everybody on the list. You know who you are. I know who you are. And I love you all. Next is review and reflect on recent video. So for those of you who don't know, my last video was about tapping, the emotional freedom technique. And here it is. Here's the beautiful thumbnail that Gemini gave me. So I went into Google Gemini, took that picture of myself in the thumbnail there, and told it what I wanted my thumbnail title to be, and not to change my image, and to like split the screen and make one cold and one warm. And then it went nuts and produced, this was only like the second iteration of the image it gave me. So I'm a big fan of Google Gemini, big fan of Nano Banana. I can see some your face jokes going on. It's my favorite, Ali G. You're my favorite for the your face jokes. It makes me smile every time. So you can see that the resource I used for that video was the tapping solution by Nick Ortner. Excellent book. I have it on audiobook. I didn't buy the hard copy. I print out like the PDF that comes with the audiobook, and it gives you lots of information. And also you can go on the website that it gives you and download more information there. But there's plenty of resources online. I hope everyone here enjoyed it. I think most of us saw it for reasons I will be talking about at the end of this video. And the performance-wise, it did really, really well. In the first 6 or 7 hours, it had 50 views, which is high for me. And then it kind of flatlined from there. So by the end of day one, it's really like 52 views. Day 2, like 56 views. Now it's been up for about 2.5 days and it's like 60 views, which is not anything to be disappointed about. I'm super happy with it. It's just really strange how it goes up and then completely flatlines. And my idea is that this core crew of people, this amazing crew of people, support each other so much, and especially with Scott's Discord. Damn, I gave out what I was going to talk about later. But Scott created a Discord channel for us all, and all of our videos come up in that channel. So what's happened, I think, is people are clicking on that and coming into the video. YouTube is not necessarily pushing it to those people. So my click-through rate was not great. It's usually about 10% on day one. 10% of people it gets served to watch it. But I think because most of my views came from people actually going straight to it from Discord, I think that actually made a difference to what was going on. Oh, sorry guys. Click-through rate was not... Technical difficulties. I think what happened was that, yeah, a lot of people came to it inorganically, which is not great. YouTube don't like that, but you know what? What the hell does YouTube do? If any of us knew, we would be doing it. So, and as Rachel pointed out in her video, who cares what YouTube says or thinks? Because clearly it knows nothing. And if you watch Rachel's video today, you will understand what I am saying when I disagree strongly with YouTube suggestions. All right, Otis is in the house. We should call Otis Mike just for a little bit until Handsome Mike comes in. Where are we here? No Handsome Mike yet. So maybe we can call Otis by his real name. So we got people talking about AI to use making thumbnails. I love it. I think they're all pretty good if you know how to use them, or if you're used to using them. Adam's saying he uses it to make it look almost like you, but uncanny, and it always, there you go. So yeah, it always succeeds at making you look like you. I like that. Oh, Otis escaped the suburbs. That's an old reference now, Otis. You got to win the week now. I know Ali uses something else, right, Ali? You've been looking at ChatGPT, not super impressed. I have used it on and off, but I use Gemini mostly. Scott is brilliant. Don't give him a big head. Awesome. Everybody's getting along. It's Handsome Otis. That does have a ring to it, doesn't it? All right, Peter is saying that the algorithm changes more than the weather. Yeah, it does. And that's what gives more material to people who talk about YouTube, right? The algorithm changes all the time and gives all of the YouTube, I'm not going to use the G word, all of the YouTube advice creators more material to use, which I think is a good thing. We all need some ideas there. I am looking at both screens. Little real-time experiment here, and I can see that what's streaming on YouTube is at least 10 seconds behind what I'm saying. So I gotta be patient when I speak because the comments are gonna come in later. Hi Yvonne, thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. You are just lovely. Next on the agenda is the upcoming video. So, fun story. This live is being recorded as well as being streamed in this Ecamm software, and I'm going to use this live stream to make my next video, which is why this one might take a while to get through, because I have to make sure that there's enough salvageable material in this live to actually make a valuable video. Wish me luck. So the next video is going to be a life update. This channel is almost like a documentation of my recovery, or the, come on now, what are we going to call it? The evolution, the reinvention there's something big going on in my life. There's a big change in my life, and I wanted to document that. And right from the get-go, I have recorded monthly or every 2 months an update in 5 areas of my life. And today, that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to cover those areas so that I can kind of condense it and give anyone who's interested an update in the 5 major aspects of my life. So it's going to get a little personal. It's always personal on here, right? I always overshare. And prior warning that you might not want to hear some of this. Pam's here. Hey, Pam. Good to see you too. And Ali's feeling extremely silly. Compared with what, Ali? I like silly Ali. Oh, this is over my head. Let me move it. We love silly Ali. Silly Ali is Ali. But if you're feeling silly, that's good. Because feeling silly is a lot of fun. And fun is good for the soul. You are winning the day. So it's a good start for you. Thanks for the luck. We'll see how it goes. Hi to you, Chris. Thanks for stopping in. I think it's so awesome how younger people are actually stopping in and watching this. I am not sure what you think of it. If you would like your mum to be doing this, that would be interesting to know. My family's actually more and more supportive of this, which is really cute. I don't know if they watch it. I don't think so, because I asked them not to. But it is really nice for them to say, oh, good luck with your live stream. Have a good time. How's it going? I love that. That feels good. Rachel's saying that she did some tapping that night before you went to bed, and it actually hurt. How hard were you tapping, Rachel? But I think I get it. It depends what you're saying, right? If you're a bit frustrated about something, I can see how the tapping could cause a bit of a migraine. I actually really enjoyed that video. I forget when I haven't done it in about a week or so. I forget how good it feels. One of my friends, Jay, and she's not here this evening, but she didn't know about the tapping solution, about the EFT technique, but she said she naturally did that. She used to tap. She taps around her eyes because it feels good. So that was really awesome that she watched the video and she loved it, and she's now getting in there. Chris, am I misunderstanding something here? You are old. You're nearly 64. I thought... Okay, I'm confused. I thought you were younger, Chris, and you were using your dad's channel because you didn't have your own. But my bad. Young at heart, Chris. You must be young at heart. I'm glad that you liked the video. And Ali G's intrigued. Let's go. Okay, go. I'm going. So, the 5... Oh, stop. Let me just finish this. My next video. After this one, this life update, if I get my act together with Ecamm, I'm going to make my first 100 subscribers video using this kind of overlay feature of Ecamm. So that will be a lot of fun. And after I've made that, I should be an Ecamm expert. So I'm excited to make that video because all of you amazing people are on there. And it's going to be really fun to see your channel banners and your faces pop up and be able to celebrate you. That'll be awesome. I'm multi-generational, am I? Rachel's saying YouTube's algo is seriously on crack or something. I haven't said that for a while. On crack. I think I stopped saying that intentionally because it didn't go across well in a professional setting. Are you on crack? Okay. I'm going to stop reading the comments just for a second or we're never going to get through. So I'm going to bring up the next slide. Is that what I wanted? Oh, this doesn't look good, does it? No. This doesn't look like what, that's not what, this is what I wanted. Look at this. This is some metrics to go with my physical health. So I track my weight on an app, and every day when I get on my scales, my weight automatically goes to an app called Renpho, Renpho, because I've got the Renpho scales that I would highly recommend because they are extremely reasonable. You can get them on Amazon, and mine have lasted now for 5 years. So that's a good bargain. And the software is really cool too. Sometimes you don't want to see what your weight is doing, but really good. And you can see here that my weight fluctuates massively. This is what it is to be a woman. What I can also tell you on here is the white area at the bottom there, that's what my weight should be. That's what my weight always was, and that is where I feel healthy. The blue, the darker the blue, the more clinically obese I am, according to the BMI scale. So right now, this is obese. I don't put much weight on that because it is absolutely ridiculous. That said, the weight I am when I'm in these high blue spikes is too much for me. Too much for my build, very uncomfortable, joint pain, aches, fatigue, the whole thing. So where I am right now is right at the end here. So we've had a bit of a downward trend, and I can see what's happening with these spikes. These spikes relate to when I'm feeling really down, and I tend to eat my emotions. So when I'm in really high stress and really, really depressed, I don't eat at all, and I get these dips. And when I am coping and doing fairly well, like now, I look like everything's great because I'm happy right now, happy with my friends here. But I do have a lot of comfort food. And I put Baileys in my coffee at night to give me some comfort. All about the quick hit. I eat way too many carbs. I love sugar. I love all kinds of food. I love fats, sugar, chips, the whole thing. So that is what's going on with the weight. Nothing is really happening. It's fluctuating wildly, and it's sitting heavier than I need it to be. So that's really all there is to it. It's not surprising me at all. For my physical health, the next metric I look at is pain. And I have a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, which I 100% believe is due to psychological pain. Absolutely it is. But the pain level, where the pain hits and the symptoms I have with it are all consistent with fibromyalgia. So because the healthcare system we have is the way it is. And when we have pain, when we have symptoms, it's our responsibility not only to track it, but to inform our healthcare providers. So it's on file, so they can do what they need to do for us. So I have this diagnosis, which doesn't mean a whole lot, and I get pain all the time. Like a lot of women at my age, we get a lot of pain. But the good news is, since my last life update, I haven't really been taking painkillers every day for it. I've been able to keep it at bay, just doing exercises and just increasing my mobility, like doing squats sometimes in the morning, doing like leg ups where you put your what am I saying here? When you put your knee to your arm, you put your arm out in front of you and then you bring your knee up to meet your arm. They're not taxing at all, and it's really good for mobility. I am not taking supplements right now. I know that there are so many supplements which are good for you. Magnesium is amazing in all of its isoforms, magnesium citrate, magnesium bisglycinates. They're all really good. My magnesium levels are actually right where they need to be. They are right in the middle of the reference range, perhaps at the lower end of optimal, because we know there's a difference between optimal and the normal reference range. But I'm not a big fan of taking supplements when the levels inside your body are where they need to be. I also have a really hard time swallowing pills, and magnesium pills are massive. I've tried different forms before. I've tried powders. They don't agree with my stomach, unfortunately, so that puts me off too. There's a whole bunch of reasons why I'm not taking supplements right now. But I would always recommend for other people. Everyone's saying happy birthday to M, or Ali's singing to you, M. Can you hear that in your head? Did you turn 30 yesterday? Because your year of birth, I believe, is on here, Miss M96, which means, right? Did you turn a big 3-0 this year? Yesterday? Happy birthday regardless. Doesn't matter what age you are. Oris is saying, did someone say birthday? Were you sleeping, Oris? Did my talk of weight put you to sleep? We're going to look at another metric, just in case you needed more of a sleep, Oris there. We're going to talk, what is this one? This is my sleep score. So I use my Apple Watch to track my sleep score. And you can't see from that chart there, but the scores are all very high. They're all between good and average. So I'll take that. I do get a decent sleep. I have terrible, terrible nightmares, but that doesn't seem to affect the quality of my sleep, even though I feel exhausted in the morning from the emotional turmoil. That doesn't seem to affect my sleep score. So it's really cool. For some people love these kind of metrics, right? I'm one of those people. I love watching the lines move up and down and see if I can pinpoint what happened and maybe how to do something better. So I like having this tracked. And the third metric I've got there is VO2 max. So VO2 max is the volume of oxygen that your body is able to metabolize to produce energy. You might want to fact check that. It feels very right and it sounds very right, but that doesn't always mean it's the truth. But I know it's definitely a good indicator of cardiovascular health, and mine is not great. You can see there you've got a bit of a dip. Last summer, when the pool was open, I would swim every single day. And my VO2 max when I was swimming every day was good, like above average. And I think it even went to average and above average. It was very good. And when I stopped swimming, it dropped drastically, which is not a good thing. And it stayed there for a while, even when I started working out at the gym and doing cardio exercise 3+ times a week. So after doing cardio 3+ times a week for about 4 months now, it started to come back up into a good point. So, distracted by comments. Hi, CL. Sorry, I can't help myself. I have to read the comments. I'm using Ecamm, so I should be able to click on the comments and you can all see them. Shall I try it? Oh, scared. Comments. Is that what you do? Oh, it's magic. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is like really cool. There's got to be an easier way. Yeah, there's got to be an easy way than doing this. That's not good. Do you just like bring them up and then close it? That can't be right. And you can't have to take them off one by one. Right? Okay, maybe you do. I'll have to jump on. We need like maybe an Ecamm in the Discord server, Scott. Jenny's Ecamm questions. That's what we need in Discord. So I'm going to get back to it. VO2 max, that's what it is. Cardiovascular health, it's a measure of that. Mine, I showed you the chart. What you might not be able to see on there is that my VO2 max is currently about 20, I want to say 26.5, 27, which is absolutely not where it should be. It should be a lot higher than that because our VO2 max actually gets worse as we get older. So hopefully mine will not drop as much as I've read it can drop, which is up to 10 points per decade. That would make me dead by 65, and that's not happening. But Laurie, on the other hand, has an amazing VO2 max of like 50 points. So fortunately for us all, Laurie is going to live forever. So we can all be happy about that. So interesting to see where this one goes, because we opened the pool today because it's a beautiful sunny day and it's a holiday. So we opened the pool, and as soon as it gets decent out there consistently, I will be in a pool swimming every day. So for those of you who have suffered through this, you will get to see what it looks like next month. And if you want to avoid that one, you will not be judged. So I've talked about weight, pain, mobility a little bit, sleep score, VO2 max, and the new one I've been measuring is my grip strength, based on the Peter Attia book that we're studying with Laurie on Thursdays. The book Outlive talks a lot about grip strength. And when I read that book for the first time about 6 months ago, I went ahead and bought a grip strength gadget. And funny story is, a Christmas day, the whole family, I had my dad visiting from England and my brother and his family visiting from England, and everyone was measuring their grip strength and doing like little grip strength offs where they would all like pull it, see if you could get the highest score, and then if somebody else beat them, somebody else would come back and see if you could get the highest score. So Laurie had the same thing happen to her when she bought grip strength gadgets for her family. So that was a funny story. Everybody likes a bit of competition, right? Maybe not, but I'm not a big fan of competitiveness, but it was fun. A fun Christmas activity, grip strength. I don't have any metrics up here because I haven't extracted it, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to. Dana's here. Hey Dana, how is it going? Those almond cookies are haunting me. I might have to make them, and then I could put a little X on the weight scale there and put Dana's cookies. Pam is saying, well done for using ECAM. You don't know what your grip strength is, but you use free weights daily, which probably helps. Absolutely, it helps. In fact, if you're reading Outlive right now, the chapters that we're reading right now for Laurie's Thursday session talks about grip strength, and not just the strength of your grip, but the functionality of your hands. So when you're lifting your weights tomorrow morning, let me see if I can describe this. When you lift your weights normally with your wrists flat and straight, it feels fairly good to lift. If you tip your wrist outwards, so the weight is actually being held more by your fingers than your whole arm, your whole wrist, you'll notice it's a lot harder. And that's because humans now have evolved to not use the full function of their hands or their feet, because we're sitting down too much and we're not lifting as much as we should be. So we're losing that functionality. And Peter Attia talks about how those functionalities are the source of what makes us strong and healthy. So we should be trying to improve those. So just something you might want to look into. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my psychological health. And I reference this a lot because this channel is actually turning into a mental resilience channel, according to AI. When I run my scripts through, it's like, wow, you talk about this a lot. Well, yes, I do, because I feel like there's a lot of people in the Gen X age range that are really starting to see things very differently. And our experience of life can sometimes be damaging to our mental health. And the way we were raised was not always psychologically healthy. Our parents did the best they could do, but a lot of us were raised being told to be quiet, stay in your lane, don't get involved, make everyone happy, people please, just be quiet. Children should be seen and not heard, like all kinds of absurd phrases that made us feel less than, like not real people. And then add on top of that the fact that we were just left to fend for ourselves and like survive on the streets, and that, you know, that would make us great people if we were just kind of looking after ourselves. I don't think that was healthy. I don't think helicopter parenting is healthy either. But I think at this age that Gen X are at now, we're starting to realize how damaging all of those things really were. So I think a lot of Gen X are undergoing like mental health struggles because of this. All right, enjoy your run, Laurie. Aw. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I'm just reading the comments quickly, and this delay between me speaking and the comments coming through is super annoying. So I need to get on that. I need to fix it. It can be fixed. So that's what we'll be doing. I'm actually going to take this off the screen because I didn't get to anything else. And we'll talk about that shortly. So my psychological health, how do I measure this? Well, my overall emotion I measure on my Apple Watch. So once a day, it'll prompt me and say, how are you feeling right now? And then it will actually give you suggestions where you can choose from lots of different emotions and just kind of tap on them and get a feeling for what that day was like or how you're feeling right at that moment. And I don't have the results with me. My emotions and the way I feel fluctuates wildly from minute to minute. And that's something which I've been experiencing for a long time now. And I got myself a nice diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which would explain those things away. But also the fluctuation between being okay and then being wildly happy and then wildly depressed. I am looking into going onto HRT, hormone replacement therapy. That's something I've initiated by myself because I cannot return to work with my emotions the way they are now. And I do believe there's a strong link between my emotions and being in perimenopause, in that whole decade or 5 to 10 years of hell that every woman goes through, most women go through at this time. So I've initiated that, and when I did initiate it to my family doctor, they seemed like it was like this brand new thing they'd never heard of and they'd never even thought of, and that is extremely triggering to me. But we're gonna gloss over that. So I've initiated at my primary care or family doctor. So that's in the works. I'm going to have to initiate all of those discussions and ask to see a endocrinologist or someone that specializes in HRT, because I'm pretty sure if I don't, then the family physician, who is not specialized in anything really, is going to be the one dosing me or choosing the best hormones for me. And I don't think that's a good idea. I also don't think the patient doing research on all of the hormones and choosing their own is necessarily a wise idea, because that's not our specialty. I think we should absolutely be involved and absolutely research, but we don't have the advantage of having many different people we've worked with in the same or a similar situation. We don't have that anecdotal evidence, which I think is really important. That is what I'm going to be going to a specialist for. The research, obviously, I will do myself because I research all of my own things and I'm very involved in decisions, as we all should be. But that's where I'm going with that. The other exciting news is I was able to get myself a mental health caseworker, which I didn't even know existed. And I have been on a mental health leave from work for 2+ years. For 2 years and 1 month to be precise. And it's only with me pushing my psychiatrist that I was able to get referred to a specialist who is now going to be coordinating my therapy visits, which is one branch, my psychiatrist visits, which is another branch, access to a mental health nurse, another branch of mental health, and if I need any support in my community where they would come out to me. All really great services. And I'm very grateful, but also very disappointed that I wasn't able to get this help without continuous prompting. I'm going to look here and read. Because depression is a thing. Sally released a video today, and just even saying that like breaks my heart a little bit. It was a very brave video. It might just be for members. And Sally's membership, Sally D's Reality, her membership is more than reasonable. And I would highly recommend you watch that video to get a feel of what true mental health struggles look like, what they feel like on the inside, and what they look like from the outside. Oh, Rachel saying she wants to comment, but she doesn't want to keep me off track. Go ahead and keep me off track, please. It just means you might have to stay here longer if you want to catch the whole stream. You just subscribed. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it. I think you might like my content. And we're all just saying hello. Oh yeah, Ali G lifted a 4-pound bass today. Did you do some reps? I'm sure it wouldn't like that. But that would have looked so cool to the people around you watching you fish and then pulling it out, which is not an easy feat, I'm sure. Like trying to pull it in and then get it up. And I mean, I'm no expert at fishing, you know this. But yeah, you got to keep in shape to lift those bass, right? Miss M, thank you for sharing. That's very brave. Bipolar disorder and have anxiety as well. I think when you're diagnosed with bipolar, you're just dropped by the healthcare system, because the nature of bipolar is you have manic phases where you're like not thinking straight, not making good decisions, really crazy active, and then you have periods of depression, like crippling depression. And anxiety and fear are very closely related. So when we're in any kind of stimulated state, we get that feeling of anxiety, and we know that that can be crushing. Today, I watched a documentary on what psilocybin can do for patients with treatment-resistant depression. And there was one guy on there who was very, very depressed and had got no relief from medication. And he said that all he really wanted was to be left in a room with no windows and no doors, and just left in there to be just to survive. And like when I heard that, and that feeling of dissociation that he had and just wanted to pull away from the world, I know what that feels like. I feel like that a lot. And it's not a pleasant feeling, and it's a very strong feeling, and it's hard to fight that, to do the right thing, to use some of the tools you've got to get out of that. I just want to be alone. Just leave me alone. I just want to give up. So thank you for sharing. Chris is saying he gets depressed a lot. Yeah, it's very sad, right? And you feel guilty for having mental illness. I'm not going to question that thought, because when we have any kind of things that affect us mentally, we're not thinking logically. So I don't want to invalidate that thought. I know that my kids, who both struggle with mental health issues, feel very bad about it. And I feel bad too. I feel bad that I'm not being a good parent, because I don't always display appropriate behaviors and appropriate coping mechanisms. But having you all here and having a channel with people that I care about watching my videos encourages me to be a better person and to use these skills and use these tools more and more, so that I can support myself, support my family, and support you and help you. Even if it's just watching what I'm going through and seeing it evolve. Chris is saying he lost his mum 7 years ago and you were very close. It 7 years sounds like a long time, but I'm sure it feels like just yesterday. My parents are both still around and in pretty good shape. My mom has significant mental health issues, so that it's very difficult to maintain a relationship. And that relationship has been fractured for a long time because of mental health. So I don't really want to get into that right now because we'll never end this video. I'm going to read comments for a little bit because I can edit that out later, right? Rachel's saying a lot of us weren't raised. We were a little feral. A little. Yeah, I know some people who were quite feral. But we learned to put on a mask so we look very functional, right? Ali's saying that her sister got some hormones online and she suffers from mental illness and it made her go into a complete manic state. Yes. I can't even talk her out of taking them because she thinks they're great. Oh, Ali, that's such a difficult position to be in. And it speaks to how broken the healthcare system is, that we feel like to get better, we have to buy things because we can't wait as long as we need to wait to see someone special, or we can't afford it because we have to pay for healthcare. We feel so out of control of our own health that we feel like we've got to get things online. And one of the reasons I'm very happy about getting this mental health caseworker is I can now take the hormones knowing that if I do feel manic, I can immediately get psychological help. They can alter medications and make sure that I'm not in a dangerous position. But absolutely, just as those hormones can cause manic states, going through menopause can put you into a manic state. And it makes me disappointed that I had to pull those papers out myself to learn about that and not be told by my psychiatrist, who is very much aware of my age and my perimenopause and didn't mention a single thing. Oh, Ali, it's so hard to love people, isn't it? And to care so much about people. Pam's saying, I just keep asking the pharmacy to refill my diabetes medication so I don't have to make a doctor's appointment. Right. Yeah. And my view on that is we should really be utilizing the healthcare system as much as we can. It's just so hard when you're working and you have lots of commitments and you can't make it there. And when you've had so many experiences where you sit down, you speak to your doctor and you're not getting any kind of help, or even it's not even a positive interaction. And that's something that I am, most of you here know that I'm working on another channel, figuring out how I can help people with these kind of situations so we can be more empowered with our healthcare. Pam says she's kind of immature in her relationship to healthcare. Yeah. Well, it's not exactly a relationship that we can nurture because relationships are two-sided, and the healthcare system is not meeting our needs. So we can't build a relationship when we're not giving equal amounts of effort. Alice saying she's so proud of me for sharing this and also taking care of your health. Yeah. Thanks, Otis. It's in my corner. Alice saying she held him up a good 2 minutes out of water. That is impressive because you really don't want to drop a bass on the floor. No. Peter saying, I think it's almost a fact that a lot of people experiencing mental health issues are not receiving the help they need because they feel ashamed to admit they need help. Yeah. There's still a lot of shame involved in mental health for sure. Ali's saying, Pam, you have to get your blood checked because you're a diabetic. Yep. Can change yearly, so your insulin and all that stuff, even with other type 2. Even if you have the other type 2 diabetes, blood work is the key. Yes. Well, yes and yes. Absolutely. When you're diabetic, you should be having your HbA1c done every 3 months to make sure that your levels of HbA1c or glycosylated hemoglobin, sugar attached to your red blood cells, is stable or getting better. And they absolutely may have to change your medications to try and control that, or you can control it through diet. I'm not even going to get into this whole conversation because that information is available everywhere. But if you have a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor, Pam, you can see if your blood sugar is, if your blood sugar is stable, if your glucose levels are stable. It's not as good as an actual blood test because it's often testing the interstitial fluid, which is not whole blood, but it will give you a good idea of if your medications are optimized or not. And I don't really want to get into talking too much about it because I'm not an expert. And even though I do have a lot of knowledge on it, I don't like to talk about it quickly because that's always misleading. We always take what we hear or take what resonates with us, and we don't hear the things that don't resonate with us, and we can end up being more misinformed. Pam, you're a very intelligent lady, and I am 100% confident that you're doing what you need to do for your health. And sure enough, there's a comment. Thanks, Ali. I do go for my blood work. Of course you do. And it has been really good, so I think that helps. Thanks for caring. Absolutely. So much care and love in this group of people. She really does care about you, Pam. You've helped me with your series of overheating. What was that? Over helping, right? Helping people too much. I love that series too. There you go, helping. So, mental health. Yes, I am a hot mess and proud. And going on HRT, it might take a while. I can only push the healthcare system so much, but I will absolutely provide updates on that in the upcoming life updates, which are usually every month or two. Yes, I think I got it all covered. Okay, I'm moving straight on to section 4, which is emotional resilience. And in my last life update, I talked about the fact that I'm off work being primarily due to emotional dysregulation and cognitive dysfunction. So I am not able to maintain a calm effect in any kind of heated situation, any kind of stressful situation. Even if I'm making that stress up in my head, it totally throws me off and I'm not able to respond appropriately. And in this section, I just update people where I am, and where I am is still not good. I'm able to regulate myself when I'm feeling good, like right now. I feel like if something happened, like please don't happen. But if something happened to the live stream, I probably wouldn't lose it. But when things are not going so well, I can go from happy to rage in a heartbeat. And that is not healthy, and it's not something that's conducive to working in a professional environment, let alone a professional environment in healthcare, where things often go wrong and there is a lot of conflict because people are highly charged. We're working in a very high-stake environment, and when we are in a position where we don't have the resources to help people, good people don't work well in those environments. So there's a lot of heated conversation. There's a lot of de-escalation that I have to do as part of my job as in leadership. And I am absolutely not there. I would also then talk about the things that I do to help me with those. And my last video would be one of those, is tapping, releasing that emotion and giving yourself a headache. As Rachel pointed out, that when you tap too hard on your points, you can actually cause some physical damage there. So I'd recommend you ease off a little bit. But doing things like tapping just to kind of release some of that emotion so you can keep going is really helpful. Another thing I'm getting really good at is reframing my thoughts. being aware of our thoughts is the first critical key. It took me a long time to be very honest with myself and recognize that inner child or the ego that causes me issues. So when I get very frustrated, it's usually my ego that's feeling angry about something, or my inner child who doesn't want to do something or doesn't like a certain situation. And when I'm aware of that, I can start to ask myself questions. When I'm asking myself questions like, what happened to cause this thought, and what thought caused the emotion, and then to go backwards, already we're de-escalating emotions, and I'm getting very good at that. So I am optimistic that my emotional regulation, my emotional resilience will continue to improve. And I am using tapping more, especially because I practiced it in my last video and it's really quick. And the other thing I'm doing for that is neurocycling, or using neuroplasticity. And that is recognizing that a thought can, let me think about this. I'm seeing the picture in my head, the neurocycling picture. It's basically breaking recognized patterns or neural pathways that our mind goes through. So when we think a certain thought, we get used to that thought causing the next emotion, and that emotion causing a secondary thought, and that secondary thought causing a secondary emotion. And then before we know it, we've got really distorted thinking. So if we can break that neural pathway, we can actually change the way our neural networks are set up so that we don't continuously get in that loop. It's really good. There's a great book by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I've mentioned it before. I'll put it in the description along with the other methods I use for my resilience. So I ask myself lots of questions based on Byron Katie. The 5 questions, like, you know, why are you feeling that way? Is that really true? Name things which make that true. Like really questioning yourself on, is this true, or is this just a thought or an emotion? And it calls you out pretty bad. We like being called out. I'm going to read the comments for 1 second because I can cut that all out later. And I just want to see my amazing friends on here because it makes me happy. Mental health. Yes, yes. Such a big topic, isn't it? Yeah, Peter says, telling somebody with depression to cheer up is like telling someone with a broken leg to walk it off. Absolutely. I watch a lot of documentaries on mental health because it's obviously something I'm really interested in. And I was actually watching mental health professionals tell people who were like in a really crisis state to calm down. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's like psychology 101 that we don't tell someone who's emotional to calm down. It was shocking and upsetting all at the same time. Loves this community. Yeah, isn't everyone just so great? Yeah, everyone is there for one another. We really are. Pam's saying she was given 1 CGM and it was really helpful for 2 weeks, right? When they run out. They are $100 each and last for 15 days. Yeah, it's crazy. Don't worry about it, Jen, but I do love your knowledge. I'm curious, Pam, because a friend of mine was actually covered by their benefits for CGMs. So if you're teaching, you may be able to get those covered. I know everybody's benefits are so different. I don't know if you could get it cheaper, but yeah, I totally understand why you wouldn't pay $200 a month for a CGM. What I do, and I don't have type 2 diabetes, and my insulin, I'm not even insulin resistant. Right now, my HbA1c and glucose levels are really good. But I actually do, once every few months, get a CGM just to make sure I'm on track. Because I love that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll cut down on the coffee for a little bit and then buy a CGM, but it's really good data for sure. Rachel is saying she went through a chemically induced menopause and can't take HRT. The struggle is real. So I'm glad you have options and help, if that makes sense. It does make sense, Rachel. And there's really nothing else out there, is there, other than HRT to replace those hormones. Some people can't have the hormones replaced for many reasons. I'm not going to get into it. But the reason you can't take HRT is the same reason as at least 2 of my friends who are in that position now. There are options out there. We're not going to go into that now because we will be here forever. But maybe a topic on my new channel, right? Peter saying he found a connection between tapping the head and using a wall does not work as well as using the fingers. Who knew, right? I think, yeah. Thanks, Peter. Comedic relief. Emotional resilience is key, just learning about it lately. I think I hit a wall with regulating my emotions during my last teaching role. Yeah, your last teaching role sounds like my position that I was in when I had my own little revelation there. And I saw that you recorded first of a new series today on that, and I can't wait to see it. I'll be watching it this evening. I almost lost it on some students, not good. Yeah, when you're desperate like that, I know how that feels. I didn't lose it on any of my team, but towards the end of my my last month or 2 months of being in the workplace, I was so emotionally exhausted and so upset and angry about the situations that I was seeing in the work environment that I would do daily huddles with the team, talking about communication. This is how we speak with each other. This is how professional, kind human beings speak to each other. When a patient asks you for something, don't shout at them because they are sick. Just basics of human decency, because it's amazing what breaks down when people are in emotional states. And we're not taught about emotional resilience. We're told to suck it up and put a face on it, and that is not a long-term method. And I have been so interested in emotional resilience and mental health for so long now, probably 3 or 4 years, maybe longer. I've been actively researching it, and only now am I starting to get good at it, because it just takes so much practice, so much discipline to get there. I see the time is an hour, and I don't want to tell you to leave, but you guys know you don't have to stay. I think Scott logged off about 59 minutes ago. Oh, where am I here? Miss Emmy's saying my mind drives me mad. Yep, get it. It's really annoying, right? Tap it away. Yeah. Even though my mind makes me crazy, I deeply and completely accept and love myself. My mind drives me crazy. I feel like I'm losing control over myself. It's scary losing control. My mind is not my friend. And then just keep doing it. It really does release it. Honestly, you should give it a try. My kids do it. All right. Yeah, Pete's saying about the teaching profession coming close to losing their shit with students. Yeah, I had a close call because I almost went into teaching. Sally's here. Hi, Sal. How are you? Thank you for coming by. I heard Daryl was saying in Peter's live that you tried to get some sleep and it didn't go so well. I hope you managed to doze off or at least get some rest. And I wanted to thank you for your video today. I loved it. It made me sad, but it was really great what you did for me and what you did for many other people in that situation. So thanks, Sally. Hot, not a hot mess, spicy disaster. That's how far away I am with the comments. Yes, Peter's saying he was married for 2 days before he realized that calm down are the 2 most dangerous words someone can say. Absolutely, especially to your wife. That's like asking for trouble, isn't it? Oh, Pam is saying she began to dissociate in the last 2 or so years in the classroom. That was the first sign that something was wrong, right? I knew something was very, very wrong, but I know in my situation, what is very, very wrong is the system that I work in. I think there are a lot of issues that were maybe specific to that workplace, but the bigger issue for me is no matter how much effort I put in my profession and how much work I do to get diagnoses, to get results to patients, I am completely limited by a broken healthcare system, and that is very frustrating. And for sure, dissociation was there, but as I said a little while ago, and I know I'm behind, we're not in sync, but I was spending pretty much all of my time trying to support the people who were hands-on working with patients so we could do the right thing, so we could do the best thing for people with the resources that we have, which are not enough. And I'm sure it's the same for teaching. I've got teacher friends. I'm going to move on to the last point. This was not too bad. I thought we would be longer here. But cognitive abilities. Oh no, there's 2 more points. I'm so sorry. Cognitive abilities is the last but one point, and I just touch on it quickly as an update to where I am with my ability to function in that way, where I can actually do challenging things, or even things that we need to do every day, like fill out forms, write an email, remember something. And it's very much tied to my emotional state, that when I am activated emotionally, my ability to pull on short and long-term memory is still significantly impacted. I feel pretty good right now, like I can pull things out, but in some of my other live streams, when my energy levels drop, my emotional or psychological health starts to fall a little bit, I don't even feel like I can speak anymore. And that's what it feels like to be in a bad emotional, psychological way. And it really affects your ability to access the part of your brain that you need to make good decisions. So my decision making, short and long-term memory are very much improved when I am in this kind of a state. So fairly calm, feeling a little bit sad because we've been talking about some heavy stuff. But all in all, I am quite even tempered right now, even emotionally feeling quite even. And I'm able to access things in my memory. And I love that feeling because I forgot it for a really long time. Because my emotional resilience is off, therefore my cognitive abilities off when I'm not feeling good. But I do notice improvements in that area. So that's really exciting. And the last, but certainly not least, thanks to everyone in this chat, is my spiritual health. And my spiritual health has improved beyond anything I could have even dreamt of. I would say I didn't even have any kind of spiritual side of me that ever came out before, I would say like a year ago, when I started reading articles, particularly by Daniel Amen, is a scientist. I think he's a psychiatrist, and he has written many, many books about psychology, brain health. And I read an article or heard an article about people who have a strong faith are less likely to develop dementia because the part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex is more developed in those people, and it protects them from dementia. So the neurons in your brain are stimulated by having strong faith. And me coming to my own faith has been through being really interested in Stoic principles. So Rachel, It's you. Rachel's channel and the way she uses Stoic principles to explain things in life so beautifully is what helped me to get from someone who was not anti-faith or religion, but just had some very bad experiences. It got me from there to feeling like maybe I do want to explore my faith a little bit and what I believe. And then all of a sudden, there's that God wink that Laurie mentions. I find this amazing community of people who have this amazing faith. And then Peter comes along, who has his own like spiritual revelation, and he's starting to learn more about faith and the Bible and those amazing things, to kind of hold my hand through it. So that part of my life has absolutely elevated my emotion. I have several memories over the last 6 months where I have felt so helplessly depressed and down, and nothing can make me feel better. And I can't even muster up the energy to use any of my tools and strategies. And I remember lying on the bed and just being done, just completely helpless. And then, I don't want to cry. And then like looking up at the ceiling and feeling something there, feel something watching over me. Oh, that's a lot of emotion. And I believe that the reason I'm open to that now is because of me embracing philosophy. It felt like it wasn't such a jump to go from a scientist mindset where everything's fixed and everything makes sense, then reading about Stoic principles and philosophy and thinking, yeah, this is, this makes sense scientifically, but it also requires a more spiritual side to look into it. And then being able to accept faith into my life, and then having a group of amazing people to support me through that and accept me where I am is so important, and it's brought such a lot to my life. So that's it. That's not so painful, right? Those are the 5 things that I decided to cover whenever I talk about a life update, because those are all of the elements of my life that I think are important. And when I speak about them, it'll be really interesting to go back and look and see how those have developed and like the evolution. So this live will be edited so that those points are more condensed, and they'll be put into the Evolution of Jen playlist. And this live stream will be obviously in the live tab on my channel, but also I put it into a playlist called Live with Gen X Values. So if anybody wants to look at that, if anybody needs help sleeping at night, I can highly recommend putting my playlist on and my voice will lull you to sleep. And I'll get watch hours, because we all want watch hours, right? Just a little bit. Some maybe more than others. I can't shake the fact that I need validation. I don't like it. I don't love it. And I'm working on it. But yeah, I need validation. I think I got it all covered. And I'm going to disappear soon. But I really want to read the comments one more time. Oh, Em's saying she doesn't mind being here for a long time. Thanks, Em. I love you too. Your face is a spiritual side. Well done, Peter. Very good. Rachel's recommending you try the tapping, Em. Yeah. In fact, I don't want my kids to watch my videos, but I might let them watch this one, because it's good to see somebody doing it, especially if it's your mom. Why would I waste my breath telling the kids how to do it again, really? I just play them the video. We are one in the Spirit, and we are one in the Lord. They will know we are Christians by our love. Thanks, Ali. I know I have a lot of love to give, and I've been holding that back for such a long time, because Pouring out love into the world makes you extremely vulnerable and leaves you open to getting really hurt by people. I just commented on my friend Brandon's channel because he was betrayed by a friend, and it's hard to see him in that position now, but that's what happens when you open your heart, right? Em's saying when she's stressed, she tends to be extra mean to herself. Why does the brain do that? The brain is such an ass. Peter's saying science can explain evolution, but it can't explain how life is created. Only religion can do that. Absolutely correct. Science tries. We always try. We always give a good theory. And if we say it like we mean it, it sounds like it's true. I learned that from people in healthcare leadership. Say it like you mean it, and it sounds true. Sometimes I feel like they have it wrong, like it's adaptation and maybe not evolution, because evolution doesn't work with creation. Yeah, absolutely. This is like one of those big debates that I'm sure we could go through for hours. You say you need to go, it's storming bad at your house. Well, it means summer is coming. When the cold temperatures and the warm temperatures hit, it causes storms. So let's be happy about that. But stay safe, and bye, thank you for stopping by. Thanks, Pam. So it looks like everybody has said what they need to say. And again, I so appreciate you all being here. I can't wait to be with you again. I know Laurie's live stream on Thursday, she will be running it through her school group, SKOOL. So if you're not in Laurie's school group, I would highly recommend that you join, because then you can interact with Laurie on her live streams, because it'll go through a Zoom call. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Join Laurie's school group. That's not too hard. Yes, Peter's, all the wisdom's coming out from Peter. You do read a lot. I love that. I will see you all soon. And I have to say this because this is going to be a video. And this is my closing tagline, Peter. I am Jen, and this is Gen X Values.